College District Board of Trustees to order on Thursday, June 27th. And let it be known that everybody except for Veronica Gallardo is here. She's at Disneyland. I have to tell everybody. It's fun. Welcome to everybody. And we have a very nice thing to do first, and that is to swear in our student trustee. And I think, should we go down there? I think that would be good. So we'll see what a good memory he has for words.
Give me a cheat sheet here.
I'm using it. Good idea. Oh, no. Good idea.
Not officially.
Yeah, thank you. Would you like some? I think that'll happen.
Okay.
Okay, if you will raise your right hand.
I got my face.
And you face me.
Okay.
And swear. I, your name, do solemnly swear
I, Alfonso Levy Palencia, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation of purpose or purpose of evasion. I messed it up. Do you want me to do it again?
without any mental reservation
Or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can do that. It's really a pleasure to have a student trustee at all, but Levi, is that what we're going to call you, or Levy?
Levy.
Levy, sorry. Levy has really shown an interest in this job, and I think we're going to be very pleased to have you around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Hearing of citizens, I have one, and that's Vanessa Patterson. I guess you're a citizen. Is that? Okay, that works.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Patterson, Executive Director of the Foundation for Santa Barbara City College, and I just wanted to come today and say thank you. Because of your help and support, the Campaign for Student Success surpassed its goal of raising $1 million, surpassing $1.1 million in 6 weeks. And because we had 100% of the trustees and numerous faculty and staff participating in this campaign, I just wanted to say thank you. We're just closing the end of the fiscal year, and we've already surpassed $5 million, which is the best year that the foundation has had in terms of people actively donating and contributing. So I just want to say we are really doing our best to support you, and again, wanted to recognize all of your hard work and support. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you. It's good to have a successful foundation behind us. This is good. Thank you. We also have recognitions. I don't think we have any today. Okay. Then let's go to the minutes of April 11th. Well, there's actually 4 of them. Should we take them together? Or are there any opposition to taking them together? Anybody want to call one out? It's April 11th, April 16th, May 23rd, and June 13th.
Is everybody here for all of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of waiting for. Just a second.
No, it was out of order.
I know, but we didn't do it.
Because there is nobody. Just having a little sidebar here.
I know. Okay. So does anybody need to take any of them separately? We're okay? Okay. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Okay, and Craig will second. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Communications, Academic Senate, is Kenley here? Oh, you are. You just slid right in there, and I didn't see you. There you are.
Fanfare.
Yeah. Ta-da.
Well, I downloaded a new little app I was going to use today at the board meeting, and I'm not confident enough to use it. It's a special little teleprompter thing that tells me what I'm going to say, and it moves while I'm talking.
Really?
But yeah, but I don't trust it, so
Probably good reason.
I will. I'll tell you later after I've tested it too. Thanks for having me. The Academic Senate has not actually met since May, so there's not a great deal to report from regards to Senate business. But I want to express my gratitude to Dean Nevins for his 2 years of service as the Senate President. I know you recognized him already, I think, and he's set some great groundwork for me to step on, and I'm very appreciative of that, as are the faculty for his work that he did. So maybe a little bit about who I am, since I'm going to be coming to your committee meetings and to your board meetings over the next 2 years. I'm actually a graduate of all 3 higher education systems in California, and I attended 4 different community colleges. I couldn't quite figure out what I was doing, so I never went to Santa Barbara, though.
It's not too late.
I know. Actually, well, you know, I did take the swimming class a number of years ago, so I guess I did attend here, so we'll add 5. How about that? I have been working in California higher ed and high schools for the last 20 years, and I've been at Santa Barbara City College for 8 years. And so I have a long history in this state in regards to education. I love Santa Barbara City College. I love being here. I love everything about it. So it's just an exceptional place to be, and so I'm very happy to be representing the faculty in that regards. I actually don't live in Santa Barbara. I live in Ojai with my wife and my kids, so I drive up here every day, and so it's a beautiful drive, fortunately. Most of you probably know my regular role on campus is library director, and our award-winning library continues to do exceptionally well, and it's because of the staff that we have there. And so they're in good hands while I go off and play politics for 2 years. So I was elected to serve for 2 years, and as you know, the Academic Senate is a governance and consultative body that represents the faculty of Santa Barbara City College. The term faculty includes all classroom instructors and non-administrative staff required to meet minimum qualifications as outlined in AB 1725. So here's your little history lesson. And who are employed full-time or part-time, either in credit or non-credit. So that's who I represent, those people. My responsibilities are primarily having to do with serving as the elected leader of the faculty in all academic and professional matters, which is commonly known as 10+1. I might share one of those every now and then as we go through the year. Serve as the liaison to the president, superintendent, administrative staff, and the board of trustees. Facilitate faculty participation in shared governance, which is one of my goals in the next 2 years, is to really engage the faculty in a little bit more participation in our governance process. And serve as liaison to the faculty and other groups and organizations, and represent faculty at college-sponsored events and activities. So it's really a great honor to be here with you and to spend the next 2 years. And sometimes I'll have something more interesting to report than what the Senate does and who I am. But feel free to reach out to me at any time. My phone number is on the website, and you can call me anytime. So thank you.
And thank you for stepping up to the plate, because you've taken on a new role, and we'll try to be kind to you in the next couple of years. Just thought I'd mention that. Okay,
Madam
yes.
President, could I say a word about
Sure.
the library?
Yeah.
Ken Lee
Oh.
is the 4th director that I have had the pleasure of working with. And he took the library and made it humane in such a creative way that literally thousands of students use that facility every day. And that didn't used to happen. And I attribute that kind of a substantial increase in utilization to his leadership. And I'm very grateful that he is here in his new role, and trust that the library will stay intact, including the coffee bar.
That's good. Report, I guess we're down to classified employees. Liz Auchincloss. Oh, I like your jacket. Is that new?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, members of the board, president. The consultation group hasn't met since our last meeting, but we're meeting in July, and Robert Else is coming to discuss the college's strategic directions and goals. So we look forward to that. And the other thing I have is the CSEA chapter has voted on a proposal that will be sunshine today, and we look forward to sitting down with the district and discussing the interests of both sides and reaching some, hopefully, enhancements to our salary and our benefits. Any questions?
Thank you. Report from Dr. Gaston?
Thank you. Let's see. I wanted to welcome Levy. It's a delight to have you join us. You're absolutely right. A political activist, a community activist, and a student activist, and we love it. So welcome. I wanted to share with you some enrollment information. So we'll start with summer. We have 467 sections that we're offering this summer. And of those sections and the seats available, about 70% of the seats are enrolled. And 17% of the sections are closed. So we've got students spread around. Most of the classes are near to full, near to capacity. That translates in a comparative to last summer. We are up in terms of total head count, discrete head count of about 4.5%. From last summer, and we know that because we tried to offer more sections this summer. And total units that students are taking are up 5.5%. So we're pleased with that. Fall, it's a little too early to know for sure, but right now, 62% of the available seats are enrolled. So almost 2/3 of the available seats are enrolled, and right now, 41% of the sections are closed. Notably, that's in our gen ed. In our math, particularly English. But interestingly, comparing current period of time to last year at this time, we're about neck and neck in terms of our enrollment. So we'll have to see what happens as we get a little bit closer. Despite the fact head count, we're neck and neck, they're taking more units. We're 2.5% up in terms of units that they're taking. And then our, I hesitate to call it CLL because the CLL is being launched officially in the fall. All of the marketing and everything is geared toward a fall launch. So what it is simply an extension of our fee-based courses that we're offering during the summer. And we have not done a big push, as you know, because this is not our big push launch. That's in the fall. Having said that, we offered 138 fee-based courses this summer, and 17% were canceled. And the courses were somewhat split, but not in half. That is, the majority of the courses started before today's date, 6/27. And then we have a little less than half starting after today's date. So late start classes. And of the courses that were canceled in fee-based, the majority were in art, dance, and yoga, which lead us to believe that we have over-programmed in those areas, and that they may need to be refreshed. They might be a little stale. So, but we know that, and again, this isn't the CLL.
Right.
Is there a head count?
No.
Okay, Peter?
You mentioned 62% of the classes are closed for the fall.
Correct.
Does that give us a shot at opening sections
Other section?
for an overflow?
Yeah, what we're looking for now is, in those areas that are closed, we're looking for qualified instructors in classrooms.
Okay.
And so, if we find some of these qualified available teaching when the classrooms are available, we'll add.
Okay.
So we're trying to do the worst we can.
Yeah, because that's one of the values of early registration. You're able to see
Correct.
where you need to fill in.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, we have plenty of lead time to try to find qualified faculty. And add, we intend to add those areas.
Thank you.
Okay.
A few more things. We are officially on the Coastal Commission's July agenda. The July meeting is taking place in Ventura. You can even go online to Coastal Commission and see our agenda item. We met with the Coastal Commissioner today, walked the site. We feel cautiously optimistic about proceeding forward. And remember, this has everything to do with the eucalyptus trees and the environmentally sensitive habitat in the humanities area. We also have had the chance today to focus on the portables and the need for classroom buildings to do a like-to-like replacement of our portable buildings with classroom buildings. So that was a very good thing. I know everybody's eager about accreditation, probably no person more than me. We will know, typically the letter comes out after 4th of July. And so I have people on alert to text me as soon as we get something, and we'll send something out. So, and there's 3 things that could happen. The status quo, we remain on warning. We get placed on a more severe sanction, which I highly doubt, or we get removed from warning and we are fully reaccredited. So that's what we're looking at, and we will know that. 2 other things. Dean, in his absolute brilliance, said, you know, I was thinking about the structure of the roll call votes for the Board of Trustees, and it seems that I think we went in alphabetical order. It puts that first person in that alpha order kind of in a difficult place.
Always be.
And so he ran a series of randomly generated lists for us, I think 20 or 30 randomly generated lists. So don't be surprised now. You will see with each roll call vote, it will come in a different order. And he'll keep running those randomly generated lists. Okay?
I'm
Okay.
surprised he didn't transform this into an electronic process.
Yes, he may. And there's our first list.
It's early in the summer.
And then I just want to pass around for your notice, Bill Cerrone was absolutely wonderful and did a proclamation from the County Office of Education about our Aspen Award. I'll send that around. And Hannah Beth Jackson, similarly, a resolution from the California State Senate.
Very,
I know, isn't that gorgeous?
Very
These are both
handsome.
residing in the office of the president.
lucky
Thank you.
you, huh? Yeah, no, it's very nice. Nice of them to think of us. And they have money for framing, so things are good, huh? Good. You can always
It came
tell.
framed.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, good. Jack, Dr. Friedlander, are you ready?
I said no, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know why I asked.
Yes,
Yes.
committee reports?
Oh, committee reports while you're coming down here, yeah. Marcia, did you have one?
I just wanted to mention the facilities committee met, and we went over some items which are on the agenda today for approval. So I wanted to let you know, under item 6.1, we have N as in new, and the lead commissioning services for West Campus classroom and office building. We talked about that. That is the evaluation of our West Campus classroom that we will be building relative to LEED standards. And I know we all had a good presentation that was very informative from Julie about that whole process earlier. So we recommend approval of that. 6.10 or O, I guess it is, the notice of exemption for the scoreboard replacement, that we recommend approval. That's a CEQA thing that we need to do. And 6.1P, change order 2 for the LED exterior lighting retrofit. That's a credit. We're backing this out because the Coastal Commission wants us to redo the lighting in the environmentally sensitive habitat areas so that the lighting is focused on the pathways and is not more generally lighting areas of sensitive habitat. So we're backing that out, going to do a better plan for lighting, and then it will come back.
I'm sorry, which one is that?
That's P,
Okay.
6.1P. 6.1Q, electronic wireless upgrade. We previously approved 1.7 million. The bids have come in. A low bidder selected. The information is in the packet, and the low bid was very close, 1.73 million. We had moved 1.7, so there'll be a slight adjustment later. And we also talked about 6.2E, which is the 2015 to 2019 5-year construction plan for submission to the Chancellor's Office. We talked about the software the Chancellor's Office has to assess the priorities from their point of view. It's not the same thing as our own college process of developing priorities for our construction spending, but it is according to their system. And we talked a bit about that system, so we now have a better feel for what the Chancellor's Office is looking at as well. So, and that we would recommend approval.
Very good. Okay, any other reports? Yes.
As I'm the liaison to the Foundation Board, and the Foundation Board has now completed work on its strategic plan, which is a 7-year plan, and some superb work by a lot of people who are absolutely dedicated to Santa Barbara City College has culminated in the development of this plan. Scott Pollard in particular, as chair of the committee to pull this together, has done a wonderful job. We now have a new president. Madeline Jacobson has taken over from Neil Kreisel. Neil has stepped down after 2 terms as the president of the foundation, and was properly lauded with an announcement that his visage will be on the next cover of Time magazine. I think, maybe, perhaps. But I wanted to echo Vanessa's accolades for this board, because we did step up. We did, all of us, participate in the campaign for student success. And that's critical to their efforts, because as they go out and ask for money, the first thing they ask is, how are we doing? And so it was a good thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Sorry I got you up early.
No problem.
Good
No
for
problem.
you.
As everybody knows, as part of the reorganization, which we're calling integration of what was the continuing education division into the educational programs and the college, which we started in earnest in January, this year. We kept on talking about, as we got more immersed in this, one college. And then we're using the term one college, but what do we mean by one college? One college initiative, as it pertains to what was a separate division of the institution. And having now been immersed in this, along with everybody else the last couple months, somebody likened it to like a major merger, where what we learned about what was continuing education division is there's a lot of differences in terms of everybody had the same focus, what's doing best for students. So there's never any doubt that everybody's totally committed to doing what they're doing the best they can. But the people who were involved with that were off campus, had their own culture and own set of ways of doing things, had their own processes that were very different than the rest of the main campus, what we did. The curriculum processes were different, how they did curriculum was different, the calendar was different, they're on a quarter system, we're on a semester system and credit. And all the computer systems, since they weren't on Banner, which is our primary system, they weren't on it, were different. So they had multiple systems. And so it's really hard as we're trying to understand how we integrate what was continuing education division into the rest of the college. We were having a lot of trouble understanding what's what and what's there, and things were written down, and there's all kinds of processes, and just very alien. It's a very different, everything was different. And not blaming anybody, just the way it evolved over these years. So then we're saying, well, how do we move to one college? And so so then we're saying, look, we're all one college, students, faculty, and staff. So how do we take that from a concept and make it operational? Easier said than done. And why change? We sat back and said, is this the right thing to do? And it didn't take us long, and we believe this more and more every day. That's worth all the effort we're putting in. What happened here? Anyway, I can speak to it.
You know what, we have it in our packet,
Yeah,
so if you
good.
just
Yeah.
refer to the slides.
Right. The slides, I added a different slide, but you see what's going on?
Yeah, he'll work on it, I think,
What are you working on?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the bulb went out. All right, so,
I think I
Silly.
just lost.
so I'll speak in the dark here. But there's, so why change? And we felt that actually, by becoming one college and integrating our services and processes, that we would increase student success, and that we'd provide clear pathways for students regardless of when they came into the institution. And this is a critical thing. So whether they entered in non-credit ESL, basic skills, adult high school GED, short-term career, that was part of the pathway that they would move along. And we'd have very similar processes in terms of how we serve these students, regardless of where they started in there. And that was very important. And the rest of the items on there. But we felt that we could be much more efficient in terms of how we delivered all our services and processes, which would free up time and resources to better serve students. You know, if we had one system instead of maintaining multiple systems that weren't connected with one another on that. And by doing that, we could increase our capacity to serve more students as we think we can in those areas. The one slide that you don't have is one that's called business process analysis. So what we did was, because we were having trouble understanding existing systems and trying to move to one system, we brought in a consultant that we've used with our banner implementation on campus, and she conducted what we call business process analyses. And what you do is you analyze step by step for 2 days every single step of what you're currently doing. And when you do it, sometimes you realize how things can be improved. And out of that, the ideas just flow, because when somebody you have a whole group of people who are involved, and you're saying, what's next? And you're mapping the process. The inefficiencies and where you can become better just jump out. And we involved everybody in continuing education and credit who should be involved, and in all aspects of the college. You know, HR was there, IT was there, and credit and non-credit alike. So we had very large groups of people. And from that, we looked at, you know, enrollment, how people enroll, how people find out about this place, what's outreach, how do we do outreach, so people, you know, our marketing efforts, how do they enroll in the college, how are class schedules developed, how's admissions and records done, you know, how do students get into the system, how are records kept, you know, and maintained, curriculum, how is curriculum developed and articulated, scheduling, you know, how do we schedule our classes in our rooms, to understand that whole process, hiring, how do we hire people, and, you know, it was very different processes, so we looked at what was the most efficient, effective way, all moving towards Banner. The whole goal was, if Banner is our system we use in the, for the rest of the college, how can we integrate continuing education into Banner? So we've, then we had, how do we pay people? You know, so we mapped that process as well. So everything from how we outreach to how people get paid, how we staff classes, how we, and so forth. So the next step in the process is we developed these very detailed analyzed reports with flow processes of what needs to happen to move all our functions that aren't in continuing education, that aren't in Banner, and the ones that aren't, how they can be integrated into what credit's doing, what HR is doing, what IT is doing. So it's one system and not dealing with multiple systems. And students feel they're at one college. And so what's happening this summer is in July, end of July, the consultant team from SIGS is a consulting group. They're coming to campus and spending 2 weeks interviewing everybody to develop a work plan, an implementation plan of how we move from our existing processes to one college. And so next year, this coming year, you know, 13, 14, all the work will be done to integrate our systems. So we have one set of systems for everything, one set of directions for students. So for students, they're going to Santa Barbara City College. And where they enter, that we'll have plans for them. The goal is by fall of 14, we'll all be on, Banner. The one exception is going to be and that includes, and Banner, that includes everything from, student services. We have one counseling and advising department, how we provide disabled services for students, how we provide scholarships. I mean, everything that we do for a student, they're encountering one system. What's going to be a little different is the CLL. The CLL, we decided to wait a year after next year to convert them to Banner. Turns out Banner now has a module in their system that would accommodate fee-based courses like the CLL, but we just felt it was too much to bite off everything else we're doing to integrate them in that process next year. But they'll be involved in all the other processes, like outreach, recruitment, and so forth. So that's basically where we are, and we have outlined a student flow model that all students will be subject to regardless of where they come into the college. One thing I did want to point out to you is we want to come up with the goal is to have an easy for students to navigate process that supports students' aspirations and goals, that's simple for people to follow and use, that improves our efficiency as a college, and that will allow us to grow without having such labor-intensive systems that we currently have in place. We're proposing a change in language. And so what we currently call non-credit, we're calling continuing education. So that's your state-funded classes, basic skills, non-credit ESL, short-term career programs, training, and GED, adult basic high school. We're calling that continuing education because these people are continuing their education. The feeling was non-credit sort of devalued the importance of what they're doing, so we're using that terminology. We had different terms which wouldn't bother you, but we didn't know what they meant, like managed enrollment, so we're doing away with some language. We had a front desk and a main desk, and none of us could figure out what the front desk did and what the main desk did, so we're calling that basically Student Services Information Desk. So that's where everybody goes for information, and it's part of Student Services. We have something called STEP, which is what non-credit called in the past their matriculation. We're calling it counseling and advising because that's what is going to happen there, counseling and advising. So no more STEP. It's counseling and advising like we do for the credit students. It's counseling and advising. A major change is right now we have the Wake Center and the Schott Center in the main campus. We just felt that would elevate the status of everything we're doing by calling it the Wake campus, the Schott campus, and the main campus on that. So looking at the word going from centers to campuses. The reason why we're looking at campuses is because now, being one college, we're providing the full array of services that we hadn't to students that we hadn't had in the past. So we say, look, they're part of this college, and they're getting a full array of services as the one college concept. So we felt these are campuses in terms of how we're treating it on that. So the question is, what do we call the educational, we call continuing education division. So we're saying, well, it's under educational programs. We have educational programs called continuing education. Those are state-funded classes. And educational programs called CLL. That's the Center for Lifelong Learning under our organizational structure. So that's basically the major changes that we're making, where we are in our process. And then we have a whole action plan, which I won't go into in terms of the follow-up to make all this happen. Certain things we're doing right away. Other things that rely on computer systems. We're obviously doing this detailed implementation plan. So in the end, I just want to conclude with that. I have to say it's a huge undertaking. The deans and everybody and people in what we're now calling continuing education CLL have been just terrific. And staff support, I couldn't ask for anything better. But everybody just really sees the advantages of doing this and the benefits. And that's why we're committed to making this huge investment. But it's going well, considering that it just started in January. I feel really good about where we are now and where we're going with this. But in the end, I just want to summarize. So we use the word one college. That's what we have in mind and why we're doing it. So I'm open to questions and the change in nomenclature.
What's a CEU?
CEU is a continuing education unit, and what happened was, for a number of professions, people are required to put in a certain number of hours per year or over 2 or 3 years. So they would enroll, but then they had a whole separate process that was very cumbersome to request a continuing education unit. And the process was so cumbersome, it was taking so much staff time, we just totally simplified it. So it'll have minimal impact on staff time, but also for the student requesting it, it's going to be so easy for them to do it now, where in the past it was a major enterprise. And now I won't go through everything. It could be a half hour for me to try to explain what was, but there's no point because now we have what is, and now it's as simple as can be.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Marcia?
I think it's an excellent project, and I really appreciate that you're going through this analysis because I think it will be a tremendous improvement. I'm a little curious on the slide that said enrollment follow-up process for all students.
Right.
And then there's CLL down at the bottom. The welcome, find, fit plan, orientation, assessment, education plan, and career info don't seem to me to fit CLL.
Yeah, and that's why in the chart, in the bottom of the chart, we skipped that. See the bottom of the chart?
Yeah, I see the CLL students.
So they skipped that process because it doesn't fit them.
It's
So
meant to exclude.
Ah,
that's
from
why
one
we
point
put
to
that
the
there.
third point.
So they have to register and
Okay.
pay,
Right.
and we still have to do
the
outreach and
arrow
apply.
isn't, say, skip that and move to the next.
Right.
one. All
That's
right.
right. Similarly,
I did not see
similarly,
that in the.
I'm sorry, it was in the little bottom. Similarly, we're not tracking their progress towards their goal. It wouldn't make
Yeah.
any sense. That's all I was trying to depict there.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Good, good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I say a
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to say that I am very impressed with this. Looking back as a student, right now I understand the system and I understand how things work, but I think a big part, and I know resources are really limited. Obviously, we're always going to have limited resources, but simplifying the process is, I think, a big part of getting students through the college system, because when you get here, you're lost, and I think it's a big part of succeeding is figuring out how to navigate it. So I applaud this effort. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I think it's interesting, the outsiders looking in, even though I've been here for a long time, you'd never know it when I was looking in. We couldn't figure it out. That's why we did the business process analysis. But I really appreciate, and you captured the essence of why we're so excited to be doing what we're doing. So, Lori, I think that's it.
And I wanted to comment, it's one thing to say we're going to transition to a new structure, and it's going to be called the Center for Lifelong Learning. And we're going to bifurcate non-credit, and we're going to integrate both of those elements into ed programs. It's another thing to do it, and it's another thing to change culture and values. And that's what Jack is doing with his team, is that he's not only operationalizing this, but he's shifting the culture and the values to that thing that we've so believed in for so long, that one college culture. So I really applaud you, Jack.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lori. One thing I skipped over is just what Lori talked about. We started out with culture and values, and I have to say that this is doing everything different. We had a number of people not there anymore or in different positions, but despite that, everybody's right with us because they saw the value of it, and plus we engaged them from day one in every single little process, and I think we are, and people are so appreciative now because we're being paid attention to, and they feel like hey, we're part of the college. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I was just going to say, I think I don't know if we're all tuned up for marketing and development on CLL, but that's what we're going to have to face in the next. I mean, this is wonderful because it's internally doing what it's supposed to do, but it'll take a little
That's
bit,
right.
marketing and development both.
Yeah.
Good, good. Ta-da, I love it.
I didn't want to call it summer. Summer's a roll, fall is Seattle.
That's it, okay, that's good, that's very good. Okay, next we have appointment of a labor negotiator, I think.
And
Yes,
if,
go ahead,
if I
Lori.
could explain, this is something that our general counsel identified as necessary in order for the one employee that you directly hire, and that is the superintendent president, to be able to dialogue with you in closed session about contractual issues. We can certainly dialogue about evaluation, but in order to dialogue about that, then a perfunctory appointment, this doesn't preclude others from engaging in that. But
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Can I have a motion?
So move you be appointed our labor negotiator.
Okay. Is there a second?
There's a second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? I haven't voted for myself. All right. Thank you. And next we have swearing in of the trustee. We did that. Board self-evaluation. Sorry.
I'm sorry. We have to appoint you labor negotiator.
no, that's in a
That's
different
later.
section.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the culmination of your self-evaluation. You will recall that we did this last year in about July, late July, and now we're much more aligned with our policy in terms of when it happens. We did a very robust development of an instrument. There was a subcommittee. You saw that instrument. You indicated your desire to institutionalize that instrument for this particular evaluation. We sent that out. All 7 of you evaluated yourself, and now you get to take a look at the results, discuss them, identify any areas of strengths that you would like to publicly note, any areas that you would like to work on, and also this will inform our retreat in August in terms of developing perhaps our annual goals for the board.
Well, I'm going to start off just to say I was pleased to see so many of us thinking that we're excelling or at least good in most areas. This is a great improvement over the last one we did or the one before that. So I know this is a different board, but still, I think we're doing a good job here. Does anybody see anything they want to pull off or anything?
Well, you
Okay.
had, if I might,
Uh-huh.
just a comment. You had just mentioned that you know it's a different board, but the members of this board that came on prior to us, new people, hopefully you could see quite a difference. We haven't really been faced with some real divisive problems, but we have. But there's a collegial approach, even if we don't all agree during discussions, and everybody's communicating with each other, and I think it's a great working group, and we are making progress.
Good. But I do want to point out that you can take almost any subject and make it controversial if you want to, so.
True.
So at least we're not doing that, and that's good.
We're not looking for them.
Right,
We're just
right, it'll come.
looking at
but-
the issues.
That's right, that's right. I was concerned, there was one place, and I'm not quite finding it, but I think it might be this one that I noted, the question of all board members having adequate and appropriate knowledge of the budget, and I saw a couple needs improvement, but I think that has to do with being a new board member. So just, the budget is probably the most complicated thing that you're going to be reaching and looking at. So, the idea that we now have a state budget and our budget's already been approved, everything's flowing along much better than it used to. I think it'll be easier to understand in the future. Okay. Yes.
I just
Lisa?
had a couple comments echoing what Trustee Nielsen said, the comments in regard to our working relationships and our relationship with our CEO were pretty unanimous in terms of how we're performing in that area, and I think we're all comfortable with that. So that speaks greatly to our work and to your excellence, Dr. Gaskin. It's interesting on the fiscal health of the district and the comments and responses in regard to fiscal reporting. Now, I think we've demonstrated that we were able to change the budget formatting, the processes involved, and the accuracy with which we've been able to to predict how we're going to perform. It has been demonstrated now over a 2-year period. So where I see needs improvement, there are several items there where people said needs improvement, and I think that's just not so much speaking of wholesale deficiencies, but just our desire to be more involved in setting the tone, to make sure that the budget is following the mission and the priorities of the college. I do think we could spend more time as a board discussing that. How does the budget actually reflect the priorities and the mission statement? So that's how I interpreted those need improvement remarks in those areas.
It's good to note, yes, Marcia?
And I would just add to Lisa's comment that that is so much easier to do now that we have revisited the mission statement, we're developing the educational master plan and so forth, so that we will have the necessary instruments to refer back to and bring this together in a thoughtful way. Because
Excellent point. In the absence of those, how could we measure? So
yeah, before we didn't have those landmark pieces to look to in the same way, and we will now really have all this pulled together. So again, thank you, Dr. Gaskin.
This is good. Yes.
A lot of this coming together is due to the leadership that Lori has brought to this board by unifying the staff, by doing her job, and you know, we're very grateful for that, because we can't be any better than the people that are doing the work. All we can do is say we approve, or we want you to look over here, you know. But we're getting the information we need. It's being presented to us, and there were a couple of categories that I put needs improvement on, and my reasons for doing that were really that we really, since I've been on this board, we hadn't really gotten to these issues yet. Right. And if I haven't gotten involved in those issues or seen them, then I need as a board member, a part of the board, I need improvement in that area. So when we got to the, and it's a big thing for me, is need improvement in emergency preparedness. You know, there's a lot of work going on. I'm not fully versed in exactly what's going on, and I feel like I need improvement on that, so therefore the board needs improvement on that. Mm-hmm. So that's how I rated some of these.
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Okay. We don't need to vote or anything on this one. It's a first. It's boards, yeah, go ahead.
May I comment?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Having worked with a number of boards, I found this self-assessment to be very reflective, very thoughtful, and actually really so genuine to your spirit and your soul and where your commitment is. I was extremely pleased with how this turned out, because I think it really so aligns with not only your goals, but really where your focus and direction and policy making emphasis is. So I congratulate the full board.
Okay. Thank you. Nice of you. Okay, now we come to board policies, item 2.4, and there are a bunch of them.
Yes, so let me explain what we're doing.
89
We
pages.
started in baby steps, and the baby step was chapter 1, and chapter 1 only had 2 policies in it. Now we're getting into the meat of it, and probably the best document right now to look at is the tracking sheet, and hopefully you like this tracking sheet. And we will keep providing this with each chapter. We have up to 7 chapters, so. But anyway, this tracking sheet shows you that for the most part, all of chapter 2 is in here for first reading with your board policies. Every single word has been vetted, parsed by not only your absolutely wonderful board subgroup, work group that I'll defer to in a moment, but then also by Pat and me and Angie and Jane, our consultant, and by BPAP, the Board Policies Administrative Procedures Subcommittee. It has been extensive, and where necessary, it's gone to the Academic Senate. So this has truly been a collaborative process, and we're moving forward in chapters 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I will defer to the two of you, Marty and Marcia, to comment about what we're looking for from the board.
Sure. This is a first reading, but it's also a good time. If you see anything in there that you want to discuss or work on, this would be the good time. As Lori said, we looked over everything and we worked on it, but that doesn't mean that your eyes can't find something new. So we would be glad to have that. There will be a second reading, I think, at the next board meeting, and an
adoption.
So yes, Mary Ann.
I think it's very impressive, and I hunted for editorial mistakes, because you know I do that. I couldn't find any.
Oh,
That doesn't happen very often. I'm really excited about the development and its existence. I am concerned about one thing, and that's me. I wonder if we could spend a little time at the next study session being briefed on this. There were 2 or 3 of these policies where I was not sure I understood what the policy was, what it was referring to, or what the background information was. And since policy is one of the board's major responsibilities, I'm wondering if we could do this study session in August. It doesn't need to be a word for word or anything like that, but set aside a little time to talk about this and then vote at the August board meeting on it after we've had a chance to ask questions and be sure we understand.
Okay. Are there any particular ones that call out to you, or?
Well, one
there
of the
so many
ones that I thought was, I mean, just a simple one, I'm sure it can be explained, but I don't know that this is the time to go over each section, is the one where the whole thing was crossed out. Because it looked important to me.
This is the time.
Yeah, this is
That's
a
why
good time.
we have
Yeah,
this
it's a
on
good
this
time.
agenda.
Yeah, and that was the first one, I think, BP 2005. And it's all crossed off because it really isn't needed.
No.
Because it just refers to state law. There's nothing,
There's no policy.
no.
Oh, that's not the one I meant.
Oh, okay.
If they have been crossed,
Anyway.
no, let's go
Here,
through them.
let's look.
You know, I have a comment on one, if Mary Ann wanted to take a moment to gather hers, on page 89 of 89. No, I didn't have a question until the very last page. Board Policy 2750, board member absence from the state. It might be in there, but under the third bullet point, the last sentence talks about the board immediately appointing 1 or more interim members as necessary. And I don't see that a process for how to do that is stated in this policy, and maybe it's in one of the other 70 policies.
I think you'll find it in one of the other policies about how to.
Yeah, the appointment of an interim, this is not an appointment. What we have are appointments to the board when there is a vacancy.
Right.
Yeah.
But this interim member, if it's for, I think it's a month, or what is 6-month period or something, that process can be determined ad hoc, it can be determined by
I'm
the
just
board.
saying that this policy doesn't state how it's to be handled. I understand there's a process to appoint in the, with a resignation or something.
Yes, with a vacancy.
Yeah, that's a good question, Lisa.
Because it would become a debate if it's not
Yeah.
spelled out in the policy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been concerned that although Marty and I and Lori and Pat and Dean have all spent a lot of time on these policies and had time to digest them and think about them, there's a lot in here. This is really substantive, and 89 pages is a lot for the rest of you to absorb in 3 days. So I've been concerned whether this is enough time for all of you to ask these questions and understand the meaning of the changes. It's not a major change from my point of view, but there are things in here that actually make a significant difference, and one of them is we changed the health care benefits at the request of BPAP. I doubt that was obvious in just reading it, but all of the board members here are affected. And we reduced those health care benefits, basically. We think we did the right thing, but I would want you to understand what we did before a vote and why we did it. And there are many other substantive things. This, to me, is one of the lesser ones because most of the policy we're looking at here affects the college, not us. But it's an easy example where I think you can read it and not realize what's going on.
And it says here that you can immediately appoint. So we simply put it on for action and you appoint an interim.
The one that I was talking about is under the board ethics. So it was page 79 was the specific one. But, and the core principles were crossed out, for example. It says mission and core principles. Now, I understand that before that, there is a discussion of what will happen if you break the code of ethics and so forth. But I didn't think that what was in the crossed out section was completely covered by the section that exists. Now, it may be,
And that would
as
be
I've
the
said,
It's in chapter 1.
But see, that she's saying she's not sure that they're totally covered.
right.
And
I-
so that's a good
I
question.
flipped it back and forth, and I didn't think they were completely covered. Maybe they are.
Right.
but
If I could comment, the mission and core principles are in chapter 1, and what we're trying to do is reduce duplication. Your chapter 1 is your mission of your institution. So, and you've already approved that, so that's already been taken care of.
Right.
The standards of conduct and the violations, you may recall that what we did was we brought this forward in a study session, ethics and board responsibilities, and we reviewed it with you all, and what we did was simply restructure it so that it read easier, and we put subtitles. So nothing has changed from the crossed out, other than we have cleaned it up, made subsections, so that it's easier. So I don't know that you, on that one, that you need to spend time going back and forth, because, boy, Marcia and I really did a deep unpacking of that, and we brought it forward to you for study, that and responsibilities, roles and responsibilities, because that is so important. So the mission and core principles are in chapter 1. Everything else, standards of conduct, violation of board policy, have simply been reformatted.
Right, but if there is something we missed in terms of
So I'll go back and
deleting and then reorganizing so that those are separate, let us know. I mean, that's important. So unfortunately, my iPad is choking on this attachment.
Yeah, I
It
can
won't
well
show, it will not show the pages.
Yeah.
You know, if you log out and then just go in through the web and look at it, I had the same.
I am going through the web.
Are you going, okay.
Yeah, it's just,
I think it has opinions, so it says no.
So
You can't read this, so, because I
well, it
had the
is
same
300
problem.
some pages, so
Yeah,
it's just.
I had the
not
same
so
problem.
happy.
because there is no study session in July, the board actually has a month to review these. And
Right.
I know the 2 members of your work group and I am available to meet and discuss any of these. So that's,
And also, there's no, you know, you can send an email about what's concerning you, and at the second reading,
definitely.
we can do that discussion. Maybe that's what we'll do. Bring whatever you see that you want to discuss, because some of these are pretty pro forma
Yeah.
and pretty straightforward, and, you know, even when we were reviewing them, we were looking for commas and making sure they didn't conflict or something like that, but it wasn't the form we were concerned about. I mean, the actual saying. So I think if you see something, if you want to let me know, I would be glad to compile those so that we will have a discussion on the ones that we're having problems with. Does that make sense? Now, Lisa?
Yeah, Marcia said that there were substantive changes to some of the policies. Do you have a note of which ones those were? I mean, I read all of these, and, you know, I had read the old policies that were available, and I feel quite comfortable with them myself, other than that one tiny thing. But if you have,
Yeah, there isn't a document that says we changed this because. We went through, we discussed it at the time, we, you know, tried to thoroughly vet our thinking at that time, and whether we were saying what we meant to say was a big part of our discussion. But we didn't keep a running document that says we changed because. And in reflecting, that would have been really helpful for the rest of you.
Yeah.
going forward.
Yeah.
Might it be helpful if we treated this as a first reading and the second reading in July?
Yeah, end of July.
End of
Okay.
July, a
25th
month from
or
now.
so, yeah.
That we separated out those that truly are pro forma, or pulled out those that we had some concerns about.
That's a good point, yeah.
And the whole point of this exercise is not just to approve, but to understand exactly what's in here. And that, I mean, I've read the packet, but I've read it superficially, and I agree with you. I'll have a whole month to read it, and I will assure you I'll dedicate every minute of that month to.
That's only 80 pages.
Yeah. But you have to read these things carefully and have a chance to talk about it. So maybe making the distinction between slam dunk and, I have a question, will generate two packets, one this thick and one that thick.
From you all or from us? Not sure.
From us,
From us.
in terms of feedback to Marty, and just to have a chance to say, okay, on these 3 or 5 particular policies, we'd like to spend some time at the next meeting airing our concerns or points of confusion. Would that work?
You mean separating them into 2 groups, basically? One that no one seems to have any concern about, so it goes up for approval, and one that you want to pause and discuss a little more thoroughly so you understand it, and then go for approval in August.
Could I make a point of clarification? If there are simple questions that can be answered now, I'd sure like to be able to do that. I want to keep this on track. This is it's a machine in motion, and so we simply need to hopefully try and keep it on track. I think I'd rather have, if you're interested, a special meeting where we bring Jane in and we walk through all of 2 before the end of July. If you have grave concerns, if there are simple questions, I'd rather not do that. So
Maybe
so
maybe if you can, by any of the trustees, if you can just let us know which ones you want to talk about a little bit more. Maybe by July 15th, in the middle of July, so that we can then see if we need to. Is that early enough? So we can then see.
I don't think that's early enough. I think folks should be able to decide in the next week.
In the next week,
if they want
okay.
to proceed.
Okay, by July
July
5th or
15th
something.
is
Yeah.
too late.
Yeah. And just let us know, and then those are the ones, and we'll see if there's enough question, enough controversial things. And, you know, we've been so immersed in it, Marcia and Lori and I, we don't see the controversy anymore. But if there are any, then maybe we can bring Jane in. So if you can, let's see, by a week from Monday, which would be 5th, 6th,
We could
7th, 8th,
also-
about the 8th of July, the week before.
We could also take a shot at a very brief list of saying which ones are substantively changed,
Yeah.
so that if it wasn't apparent to you when you read it through, you know, we might be flagging something that you want to read again.
That would be a good idea.
I want to make sure you understand, I'm not asking this because I think there need to be changes. I don't know if there need to be changes. I'm asking this as a relatively new board member because I want to be very sure that I understand it.
Well, maybe I'll take a whack at looking these through and identifying the ones with substantive changes and run it by Marcia. And then we can just send it out to you. And
That could be just
but
sent out, yeah.
but I don't want you to respond because it won't be a meeting. We don't want to do that. But just so you know, and then maybe Lori and Marcia and I or somebody can sit down and decide if we need to have a consultant at the next meeting. Or have her come by phone.
Perhaps we could have a set of meetings. That is, Marcia, Marty, and I, could meet with Marianne. Or if someone else had just that need to understand the whole
Yeah.
scope of it,
Yeah.
we could sit down and go through. I think we know them pretty well, but
Right.
Yeah, but we had an unfair advantage of spending all that time on them.
Right. Craig, do you have a question?
Yeah. I like what you're saying so far. I understand Mary Ann's concerns. You guys revise these things, you know, and I got a few hours to digest 80-some pages of it and to see what changes there really were, and I did read it more than once. I didn't see anything in, nothing jumped out at me that I disagreed with. And it was done very well, the different colors of ink, because I did it on my computer instead of on paper, and I had the blue and the red and all that stuff. And it made most of the stuff look no problem. But, so my question right now is, if we approve these policies, cannot any, and it's done with, cannot at any time any one of us board members raise our hand and say, I'd like to review this policy?
Oh, yeah.
And we have plenty of time to look through these policies, and over the next coming months, if there's policies that we want to look at again, or we feel we'd like better understanding of, then we can make a request, a motion in a board meeting, and it could be brought up, and we can be briefed out on it at a study session, or we're pretty much getting information when we ask for it and help. I don't know that we need to make the process more drawn out. We're kind of behind the 8 ball. I heard stories before I was sworn in, like at one point, the board couldn't even find its policies. The file cabinet was lost. I've heard all these things, and I don't know if they're true or not, but we've got policies now, and it's being put together. Just because the policies get put together in some organized way doesn't mean that we can forget about them and go on with business as usual. We need to all understand these policies, and I would encourage anybody that has a question on the board, or anybody else for that matter that says, I don't understand this policy, to go figure out what it really means. And I really respect Mary Ann's opinion, as well as Dr. Gaskin's, because she's been there before. She's read these at other institutions. She knows what she's looking at. If she's concerned about some policies, to me, that's a red flag. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I got to go back and reread those policies. I want to know which ones she's concerned about. Right. So my stance is, if we just enact these things and adopt them and then read them, and it's our responsibilities as trustees to bring it to the board's attention and saying, I don't think this is right, or I have questions. I don't think we can perfect it before we put the policies together so that we can begin to use them. And we are a little bit behind.
Yeah.
That's my speech for the evening, I think.
Okay, good. Well, I think what I will do is go through and make an email list of substantive changes that are being made here, and then run it by Marcia, and then we'll send it out without any comment back, because that's a Brown Act question. So, and then we'll see what we need for the next July board meeting, for our second reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
and Marcia?
Then others of you, if you say, I'd like to have a little more information or discussion or understanding of this one,
right.
Then I think that can be a unilateral back to you, and you just keep a list.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That works. And I appreciate what Craig said, because we can change these. They're board policies written by the board.
Right,
You
we
know,
could
it's not
change
like-
these at any point in time, and so let's have something that we can go and change.
Right.
That's readily accessible by everybody.
Right, and we are governed by state law, so, and Chancellor's office things and all that too, though. Yes, Lisa?
And just follow up on what Marcia just said, I would just encourage any board members who have specific questions and they just want the feedback, rather than all these questions going to Marty and we'll try to cover them all at the next meeting, let's resolve those easy things that come up. Just pick somebody, either Marcia, Marty, or Dr. Gaskin as an individual board member, and just call them and go over the policy, and let's clear up what we can before the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the work
Question.
group is very happy to meet with any board member to really unpack these.
Right, right. That's
Yeah,
good.
but we do need to be cautious about not doing it outside of the
No, I
public
understand,
meeting. Yeah,
but I
in
think
terms
it's-
of the
yeah.
adoption.
Right, no, but it's different, I think, what some board members are asking for versus what
I
others
agree.
are.
Yeah.
I think what the point of contentions are is we're asking for more information. We're not arguing pro or con anything.
Right.
Well, hey, we're not perfect. You may have a great idea that we didn't think of, and
Yeah.
we're happy to hear it.
Okay, Levy? Yes,
So,
sir.
because I'm a little confused, so if we have any issues or any questions with any of the policies, we're supposed to email you with them, and
Right,
then
and
we'll go from there,
I'll
or?
be emailing you
Okay.
a list of those that have substantive
Okay.
changes. And there aren't that many, frankly, I don't think. If you notice, there are two of them having to do with student trustee.
Yes, I know,
So,
and that's.
you know,
I-
we're
this-
counting on you to look at
Well,
those.
I already read
Yeah,
them.
yeah. No.
Several times, and I
Yeah.
do find issues with it.
Oh,
I noticed
okay.
they went back and forth to the student senate several times too already, so that'll be
Okay.
interesting.
Well, no, all of this
There
is
is a
good.
reason for our existence. after
That's
all.
right. This is good. So, yes, Peter?
I think there have been enough options expressed for, that can work toward clarifying anything that's not clear.
Right.
So I'm content with that. If on the 25th,
I think it's the
Fifth.
25th, but
25th,
Oh,
anybody's, it becomes clear that a policy needs additional work.
Yeah.
We just pull it.
right,
We just don't
That's
vote
right.
that particular policy.
that's right.
But I mean,
We've got two
I
or three
differ,
of them, right.
I differ a little with Craig's view. We already have policies that we are changing. I only want to do this once. I don't want to do it again and again and again. In part, not because it's labor intensive, it isn't, but because constant change of policy adds to collective confusion, and I want to stay clear of that if we can.
Good
Well,
point.
we're causing a lot of confusion, the amount of rewriting that's been done is.
Well, no,
No,
I mean,
no.
this is a
This
problem
cleans
that
it
has
up.
been with us
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
20 to 25 years. So it is nothing new. And if we can finalize it by July 25th, wonderful. But if it takes an extra week or two for those few policies that we feel may not be as clear as they should be,
Right.
that's okay too.
But pulling them for the agenda is a good idea, and for more lengthy discussion. Do we need a vote on first reading? I don't think so. Okay. Anything
Before we
else? Yes,
go,
Lisa?
before we stop, I just want to tell Marcia and Marty, thank you. I mean, this is a monumental task, and I'm sure you didn't quite know what you signed up for when we raised your hands to be on this committee.
Well, it was a great committee, so.
Yeah, and
you know,
it
we didn't
is.
suffer that much.
Thank you, anyway.
And if you know my nature, I don't really like detail work, so this has been harder.
I imagine,
On me
I
than anybody.
imagine Marcia's made up.
Marcia's good and all that, but I just, anyway, it's been interesting, so. Okay, anybody else? Thank you. Appointment of labor negotiator?
okay, so this
Yeah.
is again part of that perfunctory thing that we need to do, and that is to formally appoint the superintendent president as labor negotiator for our represented and unrepresented groups. You will notice that IA is missing on that, and that's because we have concluded negotiations, and once we restart them, then I will bring that back for IA.
And as I understand it, we need to do this each year, or is it,
That's my understanding, but
Okay.
yes.
it should go in with some other things we have to do on a yearly basis?
Yeah,
It's kind of a
cyclical.
funny thing, yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Okay, Peter?
I move to appoint the superintendent president as our labor negotiator for the employee groups noted on this sheet of paper.
Okay,
Second?
okay. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, good. And we have receipt of School Employee Association bargaining proposals. And
And
this
you-
is just the presentation of each side, so we know what's going on.
Correct.
When we start this.
It's outlined in front of you that our CSEA Chapter 289 has introduced 2 items for negotiation and are sunshining those items, and those are on the back of the page. In addition, they retain the right to open up negotiations on one additional issue per the contract. This is something you have seen before. This is what we call sunshining. And the district sunshined our proposal relative to negotiations with CSEA last meeting. And so now the chapter is doing the same thing.
Okay. And those negotiations will begin when?
We
Couple
need
weeks?
to work on that once
Okay,
this is
okay.
received.
Okay. Anybody?
I move
Yes.
the board receive the CSEA proposal.
Okay. A second? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Teamsters Union.
Similar with the Teamsters, and those items are on the back of that page, or if you have your
Right.
iPad, the next
I move
page.
approval.
I second approval.
Well, we're not approving them, though.
Oh, we're not?
We're
Receiving.
It's a
receiving.
motion. Okay.
Change it to be a receipt.
I approve the recommendation to receive.
There you go. And we got a second over there, okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, okay. Ms. English. Human Resources.
Good evening, members of the board and President Gaskin. I have one item tonight, which is an action item, 4.1A. It's a reorganization of the Academic Technology Support Department for your consideration. So a little bit of background. This proposal is actually the result of a classified vacancy, and part of our process when we have a classified vacancy is we task the manager over the area to take a look at how to best deploy that resource. And in many cases, you will see straight replacements being requested. And in this case, a reorganization seems to be the best use of that resource. And the details are on the agenda item, but I wanted to give you a little bit more information about how we got to a proposal for a reorganization.
Okay,
So this is an action item for you.
okay. Any discussion or questions about the proposal? It is a good opportunity, though, to do this, so thank you. Okay, may I have a motion then?
So moved.
Second.
Move to approve the reorganization. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Does that need to be a roll call vote? No?
I think it's just the resolutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious about what order it was going to be in, so it wasn't going to be Marty
We have
first.
some resolutions. We're going to be surprised
I
later
know,
on.
okay. The rest of the items are consent agenda items 4.2A through D. I don't have any changes unless you have questions to ask.
President Bloom,
Yes.
I'm going to need to recuse myself from 4.2C
Okay.
because of potential conflict of interest.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
So I would recommend you take the others as a batch and then vote on this one separately.
Okay. And did you say C? Must be C.
C.
Okay.
4.2C.
Okay. Can we take A, B, and D as consent items together? Okay. All those in favor of A, B, and D, please say aye. Aye.
Wait, we
Oh,
need a motion. I
we need a
move
motion, that's true. You just kind of pulled that out of the air. Yeah,
I
Lisa?
move approval of
Okay.
the three,
A, B, and D it would be.
A, B, and D.
Mhm.
Second.
Okay. Now, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now C.
I move approval of C.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? And one abstention. Good, thanks. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. That was good. Dr. Freelander. We're
Jack,
on
they let
to
you come
number
back up
5.
again?
I know, it's,
You had your turn already tonight.
I had my turn, but I get another turn because the light went out on the bulb.
Yeah, you've got to climb up there and do something.
Yeah, so this is item 5.1, recommending approval of the curriculum actions that we're taking at its June meeting. There's two sets of actions. One was we're asking for, one was some course modifications, and two, as we explained in a write-up, in preparing for our annual audit, we went back and we wanted to make sure we had all the documentation that all our courses that were, approved by the Chancellor's Office, we had documentation of when they were approved by the board and the document itself. And we found that although it was Chancellor's Office approved, which means it had to be board approved, we couldn't find documentation for a number of the courses that are listed in the agenda. So we decided to bring them back here for your approval. Although you've already approved them a long time ago, we just couldn't find where the documentation resided. So by having this, it keeps us totally in compliance by taking that action today. So recommending that you, we recommend you approve the curriculum actions
Okay. Kind of a cleanup measure, I guess.
I
Yes,
move
Lisa?
approval of the recommendations of the Curriculum Advisory Committee.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I
Yes,
just
Marcia?
wanted to confirm, as I recall, Dr. Gaskin, in addition to doing this, we responded by having a person hired specifically to assure compliance with these requirements.
Oh, good idea.
So we now have that in place.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Good idea. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good.
Okay, thank you. Next item is 5.2. So I'm recommending these routine stipends for credit and continuing education faculty.
Okay, is there any discussion about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a fast question.
Yes.
Some of these sums are substantial. Is there an evaluation process in place that says, yes, we got our money's worth?
Well, yeah, it depends on the nature of the stipend. Some are projects, and so we don't pay unless the project is done to our satisfaction, and we specify specifically what has to be done, on that, on those. Some are part of a grant. Most of the large ones are grant funded, but even for that, we have specific agreements with the individual saying, here are the deliverables.
Okay.
And we don't pay unless the person who's the supervisor signs off on it. Then I have to sign off on them all as well.
And that's the evaluative
Right.
norm?
But
The sign off by the
sign off,
supervisor?
right, and by me,
Okay.
authorizing. And it's saying that the person do the work that they're being paid to do, or else we don't pay it. So it's a sign off.
Okay, any other questions or anything? Okay. We'll need a motion for,
Move approval?
okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Then item 5.3, these are the new courses that are part of the CLL. These are the fee-based courses, and recommending approval of these. There's quite a few here. You'll see coming forward.
I love stress busters for busy people.
Ha
I move approval.
Okay, is there a second? Anybody
I'll
want to
second it.
Okay. It should be noted, I know it was mentioned here, tuition fee has ended up being $5 per class hour.
For most
For most
courses.
of them, yeah.
Some courses be a little more, and for studio labs where there's not formal instruction, it'd be a little less.
Less, yeah.
But $5 is a rule
Okay.
going forward.
And it's good to figure out what the price point is, and I don't know if that's it, but that's what we're starting with.
Yeah, and we're saying that's what we need to operate the place.
Yeah.
And it's $5 seems like a lot, but in comparison to it, it's very inexpensive, high-quality instruction.
Yeah,
We
I
hope.
don't think it's that much. We'll see what people think.
That's what it comes down
That's
to.
right.
Have we had any negative feedback? I assume we've had some, but
Yeah, the pushback has been minimal. It's pretty much gone away now. So the question is, will people be willing to support what we have to offer? And so we're launching this whole major marketing, campaign. We'll start with the kickoff of the CLL. We have a new logo, a new look and feel for the schedule. It'll come out in the fall. An exciting, punchy way of writing things.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at how best to inform people of what we have to offer. And that's fall and come to full fruition for the winter quarter. And we'll find out.
I think we do need a softer, gentler scholarship process, but we can figure that out as it goes. Yes, Marcia?
I was just going to say, will our marketing campaign reach out well beyond Santa Barbara? We have faculty coming from Ojai, I know, and Ventura, I'm sure, and so forth.
We're talking about within the center having these different institutes and programs that will attract people from neighboring areas. And so the question is, developing the mailing list and targeted mailing list to get to these individuals as they contact us. But I have to go back and I'll check with the marketing people we're working with, because I know we want to attract those audiences for specific kinds of events that we think people would want to come here for. But you're right, it's if they're on our mailing list, then we'll find them. But we don't have specific plans to be advertising outside of our region.
I'm not thinking of individual mailing lists so much as organizations and places where you would reach people who might be interested, libraries, coffee shops,
Good idea.
Art organizations,
Great idea.
psychology organizations, whatever the subject is, there are people gathered around that particular interest, perhaps, that might be reached.
Yeah, I'll pass that on.
Okay.
Where to do it, because I think that doesn't violate us going to another district, because it's not credit, it's not for state support, so we can do that. So maybe in the future, when you're drinking coffee in Ventura, see Stress Busters 303.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Okay, so thank you. So have we voted on that one? I can't remember.
Did we vote on that? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay. Mr. Sullivan. I don't think there's anything controversial, but you sure loaded up our agenda with lots of things here.
There's a lot there, but you're right,
Yeah.
there's nothing controversial.
Do you want to say
Did you
something?
make note of removing K?
Okay.
6.1K under the consent agenda,
Okay.
we're going to remove that, pull that from the agenda.
Good. Look, go ahead. We can do this. Yes, Peter?
Could you just explain item B, register of warrants?
Oh,
I just don't know what that is. 61B.
6.1B.
I have to go back and, I didn't bring it up with me.
oh.
Here, there you go.
You
Yeah,
have
right
it?
there.
Yeah.
Well, there are two items, food services and county treasury.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, this is the standard, it's the ratification of payments. This is, yes, it's summarized below. It's just, it's standard, you do this every month. It's actually just approving the amounts for the checks that are issued by the district to make payments.
That's what a warrant is.
Right.
The county treasurer is the financial aid
They're the,
in general.
The fiscal agent.
they're the fiscal agent.
Yeah.
So they process our checks, and then what we do is we just approve the amounts that then they process and make payment on for us.
okay.
Okay,
That- yeah. Thanks.
okay. So we have the consent items. Is there anything you need to explain to us, or are there any questions from any of the consent items? I think you had the Facilities Committee recommended P be voted on next time, or is that?
No, we recommended going forward with N, O, P, and Q. Those are the ones we dealt with.
Okay, I misunderstood then, 'cause I thought, okay, so they're fine, okay. If there's no discussion or anything, we can just vote on them as, in one motion. Can we have a motion to approve the consent calendar on this?
I move that we approve the consent calendar with the exception of item K.
Very good, okay,
Second?
okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we're
Thank-
down to 6.2.
6.2A and B we can take together. That's the resolution number 51, budget transfers between major objects, and resolution number 52, which is the augmentations to revenue.
Okay. These are both resolutions. Can we take them together? I guess we can.
Yes.
Okay. Can we have a motion to approve resolution number 51 and 52?
I move approval of resolutions 51 and 52.
Okay.
Second?
Okay, there's the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say, oh, no, don't do that. I caught myself, good. So Angie, go ahead. This is the new, kinder list.
Trustee Haslam?
Aye.
Trustee Nielsen?
Aye.
Trustee Bloom?
Aye.
Trustee Kugler?
Aye.
Trustee Coniger?
Aye.
Trustee Macker?
Aye.
Student trustee Valencia?
Aye.
Okay, then we have 6.2C, which is resolution number 53, the transfer from ending balance.
Okay. Any discussion on that? May I have a motion?
Move approval?
Okay. Second?
Second.
Right here. Okay. May we have a roll call?
Trustee Haslam?
What, again? Aye.
For this meeting, you're first.
Aye.
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 Okay.
Good, thank you. 6.2D is the revision to board policy number 355, smoke-free workplace. It's the second reading.
We had a discussion of this at the last meeting. Is there anything else? Okay, may I have a motion to approve? Craig? Okay, is there a
No,
second?
I'm not making a motion.
Oh.
You said anything else.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say it now, and then
Okay,
then I won't
sure,
have to
go
say it
ahead.
later. I'm not opposed to the idea. I am generally politically opposed to increased government interference in people's choices that they make. And I see this as this kind of thing pretty much akin to unfunded mandates, in that where we have no mechanism to enforce. I'm not against it, but I will vote against it at this time. So I had my chance to make a comment.
Okay.
Now, I'll second the motion for a vote.
Was there a motion?
Oh,
I thought,
we need the motion.
Okay, I was just asking for a motion. Okay. There's a motion and a second? Okay. May we have a roll call?
No, it's just a vote.
Oh, this is just, oh, a revision. Ah, you need to read the whole word. Okay. So is there any discussion, any more discussion? This is our second reading. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are you going to oppose?
are we, yes, opposed, but I thought we were just okaying that we read it. Now we're voting, okay.
Yeah.
Nay,
Okay.
even if I am outvoted.
Okay.
You won't
That's
hate me
fine.
now, will you?
That's
I
fine. No, no,
disagree.
no, you need to, I think it's a good thing to have a little bit of controversy. That's a very tiny bit.
There's always a first time.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for
There's
the,
always
We all have to do that
waiting to
once
see
in a
what
while.
happens to me when I'm walking around campus and it comes out in the newspaper that we voted in favor of this. They're gonna say, you were there.
You know,
I didn't hear your vote. Trustee.
I said no, so don't come to me.
that's okay.
6.2E
Mhm.
is the Santa Barbara Community College District 2015-19 5-year construction plan for submission to the Chancellor's Office.
Okay. And that was put out to the Facilities Committee?
And we recommended approval.
Okay,
Yes, we did.
okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? No, we need a
I
motion.
move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Okay. Now, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And then 6.3 is just an information item that's provided to the board each year. Any questions?
And
Question,
if
Lauren?
we could comment on 6.3, it's required that we present this information to the board trustees
Right.
as information.
Okay. Is there any? Okay, I don't think we need to vote on that one. It's just
No.
presented. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we have a closed session now.
Yes, we have need for a closed session for 3
Okay.
items.
And there are 3 items, and we'll, when we get done, we'll open it in there and report out. I don't think we need the TV cameras. We need to, I'll record it for you and let you know tomorrow morning. Okay, so that's good. Thank you. We will adjourn to closed session.